Welcome to Power Up with NSA North Texas, a show about finding, hearing, and maximizing valuable insights from some of the world's leading business and lifestyle speakers. Each week, international keynote speaker and National Speakers Association North Texas Chapter President Betty Coffey sits down with some of the most exciting speakers this side of the globe to hear from these subject matter experts what's making a difference in business today and learn all there is to know about people, profits, and productivity in business from some of the world's best motivators. This is Power Up with NSA North Texas. And now, here's your host, Betty Coffey.
Hi everybody, I'm your host, Betty Coffey, President of NSA North Texas, and I want to welcome you to our NSA North Texas podcast. The NSA National Speakers Association is the premier organization for speakers around the world. Our members are motivators, coaches, consultants, trainers, educators, and we bring the most up-to-date information to every one of our customers every day. This show is about opportunities to hear what is important in business today, what's important in leadership, what are the cutting edges, what are the topics that companies want their employees to hear, what's important to make a difference. And you're going to hear the answers from our own subject matter experts here at NSA North Texas. My guest today, I am so excited about my guest today. My guest today is Bill Wallace. This is going to be a very different type of podcast because Bill is a very different, remarkable guy. As you know, I usually do the speaker's bio and what makes them so different. But I'm just going to give you some tidbits on Bill this morning, and then I'm going to let him tell you about Bill because I can't do it properly. I really can't. Bill Wallace started working when he was 12 years old. He bought his first home when he was 19 years old, and he hasn't received a paycheck from another person, hasn't received a paycheck since 1983. That's pretty remarkable. He worked in the wholesale lumber business back in 1979, started his own lumber business very shortly after that in 1983, went and worked for New England Insurance, and then history began. So this is my guest today, Bill Wallace. And Bill, very shortly, tell me about what makes Bill Wallace so darn special.
What makes Bill Wallace so darn special is the wonderful people that I have around me. That's what makes me special because, you see, it's all about our fellow men and women. It's not about ourselves because the more we give, very simply, the more we get. In Success North Dallas, which I started in 1988 at the behest of my two mentors, Herb Kelleher, Southwest Airlines, who we just lost, and Roger Meyer, at that time the largest Cadillac dealer in the Southwest. And one of my we all have these inflection points in our life. And I've had two majors that I'll mention right now. One was in 1979 when I got a letter that said, "Would you help us build a house?" I got involved because I thought they couldn't do it without me. Little did I know, when we opened the Ronald McDonald House of Dallas debt-free in 1981, 6 months later, it became the most self-serving thing I'd ever done in my life. 20 of us had gotten together and pulled off something fabulous, almost unheard. Debt-free, we opened. Double it twice debt-free. Just built a new house debt-free. And through that, I met Herb Kelleher and helped with the alignment, Southwest Airlines and Ronald McDonald Houses. And that's how Herb became my mentor. That's one inflection point. That changed my life, totally. The second one was sitting in Herb's office in March of 1988 when he looked at me and he said, "Wallace, when you figure out why I should do business with you, get out."
I love it.
Get out now, then come back when you figure it out. And I looked at everything people did not like in networking over the next 6 months, and I eliminated card pushers, selling of wares, charging of guests, pitch bookers walking around. And there was another issue back in 1988, which was women. They were not wanted in networking. And Herb had told me to be disruptive and create transformational change through disruption. And in October of 1988, we started Success North Dallas with 30% women minimum. We've never been less than that. And when you look at our room, don't be surprised to see it 50% women. And I very dearly and deeply in my heart say, that's why we are now entering our 4th decade.
Wow.
Be a success in your own eyes, honor your commitments, and be a giver. So simple.
It's so true. Bill is very, very proud in his bio. He did say this, but I'm going to come right out. He has often said his greatest skill is putting together the right people for the right reasons at the right time, that's you. That is absolutely you.
Thank you.
That is his creed. That's what his motto is. That's what he lives by. As he mentioned, he has created Success North Dallas, which just celebrated their 30th anniversary.
We did.
Congratulations.
And it was fun.
And he is also, this is not a lightweight, guys. He is the owner of the Wallace Financial Group. He is the chairman and CEO of the Wallace Companies, a consulting firm specializing in capital development and executive management strategies. Bill is also serving on numerous boards and is the chairman of the board of Equine Holdings. In addition, let's see here. You did talk about yourself enough. In addition, he has an honorary doctorate of law for his work in education, mentorship, and business excellence. He's an active member of the National Speakers Association.
Which I absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any desire to become a speaker, to become a better speaker, National Speakers Association is where you not just learn to speak, but you learn the business of speaking. And it's one of those regrets I have in my life that I didn't do it 10 or 15 years before, earlier in my life. So if that's what you aspire to, or even if you aspire to writing a book and getting it out there, you need to be an active is the operational word, member of the National Speakers Association. And NSA North Texas is the #1 of all of their regional organizations. NSA North Texas is at the top of the heap.
Thank you. That was our, we're not even paying him for that.
I'll send you a bill.
Yeah. You are also a big part of the C-Suite Network Advisors and Hero Club. And you just had a book, which we're going to talk about in a little while, Being a Catalyst for Success, The Fulfilling Life of a Servant Leader, which we're also going to talk about. And What About Who, which is coming out in June 2019, right? That's
Correct.
great. The Art of Living Foundation and the International Association for Human Values honored Bill with the Heroes of Humanity Award also in 2009. So we did your bio a little differently, but I'm so impressed sitting across this table from you.
Well,
I truly am. Thank you.
You're pretty good too.
Oh,
Come
thank
on
you.
now.
Well, let's go back to Success North Dallas.
I love it.
How did it, you mentioned Herb and how he kind of kicked you out of the office until he said, come back when you got something I'm interested in, or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much so.
So why Success North Dallas? Why did you choose that path?
Success North Dallas, well, quite frankly, it's named Success North Dallas because that's where I wanted to sell insurance. I'd gone into the insurance business in March of 1988. Had I have known, I would have named it Success World because it took on a life of its own, because we created a safe space where people could be themselves, where they would not get hit on, where they would not get cards shoved in their face. And it just started growing and growing and growing. The unbelievable numbers, 91 companies have come out of that room, 1,000 jobs, 6 Ernst & Young Entrepreneurs of the Year, 2 nonprofits, 2 television series, and I don't know, 51 now, published authors, not books, published authors, and 85 of us have mentored juniors to doctoral candidates. It came from a spirit of giving. You know, when we talk about bringing people together, what we did is we picked a place. We've only met 2 places. The first one for 5 years. When they quit serving food, we moved. And for the last 25 years at Prestonwood Country Club on Preston Road, which has become our home. But the same time of the month, the 3rd Wednesday, same time of the day, 7 a.m., 3rd Wednesday, every month, 7 a.m., we meet for 2 hours at Prestonwood Country Club. We have 200 people now that, on the average, that get together. And when I say a safe space, a space where you can really be you, where you don't have to have a pretense, and truly magic happens. Yes, cards trade hands, Betty.
Right.
But they're relationship cards. They're not cards that are dealt off of a deck. They're cards that people look at, put in their pocket. I've not given a card away in 15 years, even if you've asked me for that I don't ask you for permission first.
That's right.
I try to hand it two-handed. I make a comment, and I receive your card in the same way. Somebody said, why do you waste the time? Why do you do that? Because you just asked that question. You'll remember it.
It makes you special.
You have to set yourself apart from the herd. And my degree of interest in you is how much interest you have in me.
I love that. It's true. And
Well,
you make people feel very, very special, because I've seen him. For those of you that are watching us, he does. He takes his business card and he gives it to you with both hands. And he focuses on you. And you'd really take the time with pretty much a stranger at that time.
Well,
and it makes a difference.
well,
You feel special.
Let's do it.
Okay.
May I give you my card?
Absolutely.
I hand it and I say, Betty, success, which is what we all aspire to. But the interconnecting C's that are on the logo, that's how we do it. And then I flip the card over, connecting the right people for the right reasons at the right time. I've had people call me 6 months later, say, every time I look at your card, I think about you, I think about Success North Dallas, and I think about who might I connect you to. Because you see, that's the essence. We have something, and we were going to talk about it a little bit later, but I really want to get into it now. What is networking? Networking is when two people meet each other, and there's an 80% chance that one, if not both of those cards, at least one of those cards will go in the trash. There's a 90, or both of them, 80% that both of them, 90% that one of them will go in the trash. Why are you wasting time handing out a card? Do it a little bit differently. It's the essence behind what you're doing that makes a difference. That's networking. Well, what comes next? Well, when you're networking, you take a little bit of interest. And Betty, what a great outfit. Tell me a little bit more about what you do or who you are.
Right.
Don't care about you, care about her. Then the next thing that happens is called net weaving. And that's when Betty's network and my network start weaving together. And then the next level is that of servant leadership. And that's when I meet Betty, the first thing that's going through my mind, and I'm saying, is how can I help? And what I'm thinking about is who might I introduce Betty to that might be a benefit and make Betty better. That's the ultimate. And that's what we've gotten to with the majority of the people in Success North Dallas. Their first thought is about you, not about themselves.
I love that. And that makes all the difference in the world. And that is true. They walk the walk, they talk the talk at Success North Dallas. Been there, done it, and it's true. People really, truly care, and you run out of time with the relationships that you build there. It's phenomenal. Now, talk to me about when you're doing your networking, and then you start weaving, that net weaving going on, how that really becomes servant leadership.
Okay, let's take a step back as we ease into that process and talk about the 3 A's. And the 3 A's of networking to the servant leadership are: 1, you have to be accessible. I have to be able to find you. When I find you, you have to be approachable. You can't be walking around with your head down like this and just kind of blasé.
Right.
You have to be up, and you have to make me feel like I'm the most important person in the world. You have to welcome me into your network, and that sets the stage for net weaving. And also, please, please remember, you have to be accountable. ... to that relationship that you are building from the first encounter. And rest assured, my friends, you do not know when that first encounter will occur. So always be at your best. Mm-hmm. Always be on. And that sets the stage for the net weaving. And net weaving is basically the sum of the parts are far greater than the whole. When you take two networks, like Betty's network, for instance, how many people do you have on LinkedIn?
Oh my gosh, I'm up to about, well, it may not seem like many to our listeners out there, but about 4,500, something like that.
I'm about 9,000.
It figures.
But think about it. As we add those numbers together, and then each one of those people, those numbers that are not just numbers, they're people with exponential value. And you throw it out. Help, would you please send this out to your network? When we send out something from Success North Dallas, the trickle down is 250,000 hits. That's all through that net weaving of the networks together, and it is so incredibly magical.
I love that. You have a philosophy and something that you believe in incredibly strongly, and that's life is about building blocks. Explain that to me.
Well, if you think about building a foundation, first of all, of a building, and you're the building, you're set 4 cornerstones. You have to be very, very careful that those cornerstones are without flaw, because that's your foundation. Then you build the blocks in around the cornerstones, and each one of those cornerstones is one person. That's your core group. Those are those people that, if you, I'll quote Bob Bodine, The Power of Who, one of the most incredible books. The premise of this book is you already have 12 people in your network that will take you to the next level. You just don't know who they are. The Power of Who by Bob Bodine. It is a powerful book that will teach you how to take yourself to the next level through the tools those people you already have in your network. And when you think about it, the strength of your network comes not from you, but from that core group of people that help you build your network. You're not the single architect or builder. You're the architect. The builders are all of these other people in your network. That core, your who. That's it. We talk a little bit about leverage, and we talk a little bit about early adoption. One of the greatest, I asked a very, very skilled businessman. He was CEO of Alon Fina. Fina Oil was purchased by an Israeli company, Alon. And I said, how have you been able to build this, to work this, to merge these two cultures, and to do things that no one else has done? And we in Dallas, we'd just built the largest art district in the world. And it had been funded with $1 million gifts. Gentlemen, and I'm asking the CEO, and he says, early adoption and leverage. Let me explain. We got first act 1 of the Arts District when it was being opened for $1 million because we jumped in first. Act 2, I believe, went for $5 million. Number 2, when we were building this Calatrava Bridge in Dallas, Texas, it's an entryway, it's a gateway for those of you that don't live here to Dallas. There was a lawsuit. There was people saying, we don't want to spend our money this way. Well, Alon Fina, after having had their name on every model for the Arts District that was shown anywhere in the world, they wrote a $50,000 check to sponsor this bridge opening right in the middle of the lawsuits. The day before they had the opening scheduled, the lawsuit was found in favor of the bridge moved ahead, and because they had early adoption, they were all over international press. That's early adoption. How are you using early adoption in your business with your new things coming into the market? How are you adopting, changing? How are you setting the stage to have those people still coming to you to build your network? Take people to meet other people. People will bring other people to meet you. What is leverage? Again, Alon Fina. They're an oil company. They're on one side of the political aisle.
Right.
But yet, they adopted a group called Communities in Schools. They had 10 to 12 lobbyists in Austin, Texas all of the time. When there wasn't an oil issue or an energy issue, their lobbyists were going around the entire Capitol lobbying for communities in school. And guess what happened? When that other side of the aisle, those ones that didn't want to talk to energy, that didn't want to have anything to do with it, When they had questions about energy, oil, and futures, they started calling Alon Fina because they knew somebody from it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is early adoption and leverage, and that's not only a key to your business growth, that's a key to starting a business, that's a key to networking, and that's a key to life.
Major key to success.
It's
There you go.
huge.
There you
Huge.
go. Absolutely. Talk to me about the C-suite and your Hero Club. Tell me about that.
This is a fun story. I got a call in 2014 from a gentleman in New York named Jeff Hazlett. Jeff said, I want to start something like this C-suite. And he said, I want to do it at the Fairmont Hotel in Dallas, Texas, but I can't do it alone. If you can get 150 to 200 people to come, I can get 100 or so, 150 to come in from outside the marketplace. And that outside the marketplace was Canada, New York, Florida, LA, all over. He got those to come. I ended up with about 150 people here, and C-Suite was born. And C-Suite is a network of people in the C-Suite, people with up-and-coming companies, and C-Suite has several groups: C-Suite Advisors, C-Suite TV, C-Suite Radio, C-Suite Network, C-Suite whatever. They have about somewhere between 400,000 and 500,000 members right now since 2014. And 2 years ago, C-Suite bought the Hero Club, and this was the group of this company. More was sold. It was the first highly rated technology company that sold for a whole lot of money. The gentleman had given stock in the months prior to the sale to everyone in the company, from the janitor to his assistant. More millionaires were made the day that company sold than in any other day. And Ron, well, the end result was they started something called the Hero Club. And the Hero Club is now a group of CEOs only. And it's people that are in position to recreate this making of millionaires. And we're having actually in Dallas, Texas on...
Yeah, you've got an event coming up.
On the 19th at Three Forks.
February 19th.
Right, Three Forks, February 19th. We have a Hero Club assembly going on. You can go to the Hero Club. We call it a city summit. But you can go to the Hero Club, to the website. You can find out all about that. You can go to C-Suite's website. You can find out all about that. But there will be, for I believe it's $2 million and up CEOs, we will have a Hero Club city summit on the 19th, midday, and it'll be held at Three Forks on the North Dallas Tollway. C-Suite, we do meetings once a quarter around the U.S. They're anywhere from 2 to 4 days. We just had one in December, and we took the 34th floor of One World Trade, overlooking the memorial, and we were there for 4 days. One day was C-Suite, one day was Hero Club, one day was a Thought Summit, and the final day were forms of mastermind groups. Oh my gosh. Extraordinary, magical, beneficial. You can't even imagine. And that came because Jeff Hazlett had come down twice. Once when he was CMO at Kodak, Chief Marketing Officer there, when he'd just written a new book. The second time he came down, he was on the Kodak Apprentice as a judge on The Apprentice. And I had met this gentleman through a second party, and we hit it off. And again, networking. Somebody thought, who could I introduce Jeff Hazlett to? That happened to be Bill Wallace.
What a team.
And we created some really incredible magic together.
What a team. So just so our audience can write those down or remember these, the Hero Club event in Dallas is on February 19th. And Bill's Success North Dallas, the next meeting is on February 20th. So be sure and put that in your head.
And I have to speak to the February 20th meeting.
Sure.
It is my favorite meeting of the year. It is a study in humility when we, for the 17th year in a row, will have the honor of presenting the Dallas Police Officer of the Year Award. And there are really no words when you attend that meeting. It's unbelievable.
Very good. We're we only have 5 more minutes. I could spend so much time with this guy. It's unbelievable. But I want him to talk to you right now about his new book, Being a Catalyst for Success. Hold that up, Mr. Bill.
All right. This is my book, Being a Catalyst for Success. I was honored to have the former CEO of Turner Construction, former CEO of Kaplan Learning, and former mayor of Dallas, Tom Leppert, write the foreword. And it's a very easy read. It's a book that comes and pulls the pieces out of the last 30 years and the things that I have learned through people in my network and the things that have benefited me. And it's something it's available on Amazon. It came out December the 19th. We rolled it out at Success North Dallas, and it became a #1 bestseller in 3 categories the first day and 5 the second. You can find it on Amazon, and I would be honored if you would read it and write a review and become a part of our Success North Dallas family.
Wonderful. And if anyone's interested in registering for any of those events we've just talked about or in getting Bill's book, Bill, let's put your contact information up on the screen, and please tell our audience right now. Your website is?
SuccessNorthDallas.com. My email is bill@successnorthdallas.com, and my cell phone is 214-686-7778.
Wonderful. On the back of Bill's book, this is Bill's book, and on the back of his book, he has Billisms. I don't think we've got a chance to go through all of them, but there's one here. I'm going to try. There's one here, and talk to me about the 3 types of people and the glass. I love that.
Okay. People live a life saying, oh, I'm the glass half full, or somebody's the glass half empty. I want to always be the glass that's overflowing, flowing things out to other people all of the time. Think about that. If you're a glass overflowing, ladies and gentlemen, you're a world changer.
I love
You're
that.
not half empty, or you're not half full. You're overflowing.
Wonderful. And your first principle to live by?
Herb Kelleher and I wrote this together. If it's not fun, don't do it. If you have to do it, find a way to make it fun first. You can. And the second one?
It's true. Second one.
Always a double win. If it ever ceases to be a double win, fix it or get out now, not tomorrow. And the final one is, I am always doing great. The definition of great may vary greatly from day to day, but I am always doing great.
I love it. I'm so happy you did them. They mean so much more coming from Bill.
Well, you know, we close every meeting at Success North Dallas, and perhaps I can share this with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
May you do what you want to do with people you want to do it with on purpose. God bless and Godspeed.
I love that. I love that. And if there's one thing you want to leave our audience with today, as we start toning down this podcast, what's your last words you want to leave with our audience?
If you don't have a mentor, get one. But better yet, get 2. They will change your life.
I love it. Bill Wallace has changed the lives of many, many people. He truly has. He is a very strong force within all of Dallas, just not North Dallas. And it's a privilege and a pleasure to know him, and it's been an honor to have him on our show today. So please go check him out, and let's see. That wraps this show. Thank you, Bill. So as we wind up today, I want to thank you for being with us today. Remember, it's all about powering up to be better, to be faster, to be stronger, and to always watch your glass and be overflowing, right?
Right.
Overflowing.
Oh, what a great show.
Good show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Power Up with NSA North Texas. To find out more about today's guest or NSA North Texas, visit www.speaker.org. To find out more about Power Up, visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/groups/NSA North Texas. And to find out more about Betty, visit www.bettycoffeepresents.com.